Hey there, it's Anthony Amatrano here on EduPower Tools, and I'm here today to give you a brief overview of Google Forms and how you can use it as a teacher and to help you streamline some things in your classroom. So first of all, to get to Google Forms, I'm already here, but I'm going to type it in for you anyway. You're going to type in forms.google.com. Now, normally, if you've ever been to any of my trainings or you've heard me talk about Google Docs and slides and sheets and all that good stuff, I normally don't go directly to the site of the specific app. I usually start off everything in Drive. Just because it's a nice central hub and it's familiar and it's all that good stuff. When you type in the individual apps, so like for instance here we're going to forms.google.com, it brings you to the main page and it shows you just the forms. And sometimes people get confused because they think that they created a document in Google Docs, but they actually did it in Sheets. So if they go to docs.google.com, they're not going to see it. So that's why I tend not to use direct to these apps. But in this particular case, I like going to it because it does show you, it gives you these templates here up at the top, which is really nice for teachers because there's some settings that you need to tweak when you're creating quizzes, which we'll get to in just a few minutes. And these already have them tweaked, so you don't have to start from scratch in a form. But we're going to start from scratch anyway, just so you can see how forms work and kind of what you can change in it. So basically, forms are good because it allows you to quickly gather information from people. So you can do a quick survey, you can do like an information sheet where like you're getting contact information from your parents. You can do signups if you want kids to be part of clubs or something like that. So you can do kind of all that stuff within Google Forms. And the other thing that I mentioned before, you can set up quizzes. So we're going to start off with very basic stuff. We're going to set up with a survey, just a really simple survey. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a blank Google form here by clicking on blank. So I'm going to click on blank. It's going to open up a new blank form. We're just going to do a quick survey here. So I'm going to change it to change the title. So to change the title, you're just going to click right on it here like this. I'm going to call it my color survey. Now notice when I change it to color survey here, it writes it here, but it doesn't change it up here on title form. That's pretty common in Google Docs. That's what happens. You make the title here in the document, and then you have to click up here in order for it to change to the name that you want it to be. So you can keep it color survey, you can name it whatever you want. This and this, they don't need to be the same. That they can be, you can name it however you want. So anyway, so color survey here. I'm going to change this question by typing in the question here. What is your favorite? Gee whiz, it'd be nice if I could type color. I could make it be multiple choice if I wanted to really just make it be specific ones out of these colors. What's your favorite color? Red, yellow, etc. Okay, so I can do that. I can put as many multiple choices here as I want. If I want to give the kids multiple options out of these, I can change them to checkboxes and they can check off multiple if they have more than one color. Or the easiest way to do it would just be to change this type of question to a short answer. And that's going to allow them to type in a short answer there. And just to kind of quickly talk about what the different options are here in a Google form. So you can opt to have them type in a short answer. That's just like one or two words or a few words. Paragraph is going to be longer. It's going to be a sentence or more. Multiple choice is you have to select one of the options. Checkboxes is you can select more than one of the options that are in there. Drop down is you just select one of the options. It's a drop down menu. File upload is if you want to actually upload a file, so like a picture or an audio file or a video file or something like that. Linear scale on a scale of 1 to 5. Do you like purple? Strongly disagree, all the way up to strongly agree. Multiple choice grid is you can select one in each column for each item on the sides. So that's if you had multiple things, if you wanted like an array of choices. To kind of select multiple things all at once. Or if you're doing a survey and you're surveying multiple items. So for instance, you have 1 to 5 up at the top, strongly disagree to strongly agree. And then your choices on the left-hand side. I like vegetables. I like fruits. I can come in to help Monday through Friday anytime. I like to get video updates about my child's progress, things like that. I set it up all so that it's all in one kind of grid there. Checkbox grid is if you want to have them be multiple choices. So instead of strongly disagree to strongly agree, there might be different options across the top, like maybe time ranges or something like that, where you could select multiple things as you need. And then here you can have the date or time automatically inserted as part of the survey. You get the information about, or you can select a date or a time here. So like if you're signing up for conferences, you can choose the date and you can choose the time here, or times that work well for you. So you can put in like a time range or something like that if you're doing signups for things like that. And then in addition to these choices here, for question options, you can insert some other things here. So you can import questions from somewhere else. You can add a title and description. So if you wanted to, I'm just going to move this over here. If you wanted to have different sections here. So first section, personal information, second section, child's information, things like that. You can add that information there. You can insert an image if you'd like. You can insert a little welcome video if you wanted to do that. And you can add specific sections similar to how this works here, titles and descriptions, but this just gives it a little bit more delineation between each section. And you're going to get your responses all in here. Okay, and you'll see the individual responses in here as they come in. You can group them together and get like a summary of responses. It produces nice charts and graphs and things like that that you might be interested in seeing. Or you can choose to just export it to create a new spreadsheet, and it's going to dump all the data into the spreadsheet. And usually if you're doing sign-up sheets, sign-up forms or things like that, that's the easiest way to collect the information. There you go. And we're going to just pause for just a second. Okay, so that's just a quick survey. So you can add more questions here by clicking the plus button if you want to do that. What's your favorite number? You can add that there. What is your favorite number? And again, you want to have that be most likely be a short answer question there. So they can just type in whatever they want. So that's pretty straightforward survey there. You can go back to see all the rest of your forms by clicking this back arrow here, and you'll have the list of forms that you recently created down here. You'll also have the list of templates that you saw at the beginning of this tutorial up here. So, and you'll see our color survey is here. Okay. The other thing that I mentioned was gathering information. So again, you can start off with a blank quiz here, and you can also look at the template gallery and see what templates are available. So here you see they have for education specifically exit ticket assessment worksheet course evaluation. So we'll go touch on an assessment in just a minute. But they have some other things here too, personal information. So if you wanted to, or personal, you get contact information, find a time like we were talking about, event RSVP, party invite, all sorts of things in here. So what I was talking about here was gathering information. So I'd start with this template here, contact information. And we'll just open this up and just take a look and see what information is asking for, and then you can add or subtract as needed. So if you want their name, you can get that in there for like that, or their email address. This just says name. If you wanted a first name or a last name, this is a great opportunity to do this. If you wanted first name and last name to be separate fields, which I often do because I like to sort by last name so it's in alphabetical order easily, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to say first name. And then I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to push this button here to duplicate it. And then I'm going to change first name to last name. Okay, so this is first name and last name there. This question is required, and when you do duplicate it, it automatically selects required. So that's already selected there. So now you have another field in there, first name, last name, asking for their email, their address, phone number is optional, and then any kind of comments. If you wanted to add more information like that, like spouse information or another parent information or dismissal information, things like that. You can put all that. You can add questions as you like. These are all pretty much short answer text, as you can see here, short answer text, long answer text for address, because that tends to be more characters. And then comments down below here, long answer text. What this looks like when it's complete, so say you're done editing this form, or any forms at all, when you want to see what it's going to look like, what the people you're sending this to, it's going to look like to them, you're going to click on preview, and that's going to open up a new tab. It's going to show you what the form looks like to an outside person. There it is. Okay, so then you're just going to type that all in there, and then it submits, and you get a nice little message to go along with that, saying thank you for submitting the form. Okay, so now we're back here on the editing page of the form, and like I said, you can add or subtract any information that you want from there. So let's go back to the other forms available, and we're going to take a quick look at the assessment template that they have here. So the nice thing about these assessments and quizzes, we're going to actually do a blank quiz here. So I'm going to do a blank quiz. I'm going to click that one. The nice thing is, like I said, is there's some things that you need to change in the background in order to make it be a quiz, and that's under the settings tool here. So I'm going to show you what to do here. All right, so here, so it says quizzes up here. When you get these little pop-ups here, learn about quizzes in Google Forms, watch it, take the tour. We're not going to do it right now, but do take the tour. It shows you a little bit more in-depth information about Google Forms and what's available. All right, so quizzes. So first thing here in general, it's restricted to users in Northbridge Public Schools and trusted domains. So only students and teachers that have Northbridge Public Schools accounts are going to be able to access this quiz. And then I clicked on quiz here, and this was already checked, make this a quiz. So this is one of the things that if you just start from a blank form is unchecked naturally, but in this particular case, we want it to be a quiz, so we do that there. There are some other options down below here that you can review through and check it out. If you need to learn more, you can definitely click the link there and learn more there. But we're just going to save those settings as they are here. That's totally fine. So we're going to make this be a Massachusetts geography quiz. Massachusetts geography quiz. Geography. There we go. Question number 1, what is the capital of Massachusetts? And we'll give some options. Number 1, so we could do short answer, but it's not going to be able to self-grade on the short answers. I mean, you can type it in, but if they misspell or something like that, and you're going to give them credit for a misspelled answer, you probably don't want to do that. So we're going to make this be a all right, so at any rate, so this is a Massachusetts geography quiz. What is the capital of Massachusetts? We don't want it to be a short answer. We want it to be a multiple choice answer. So we're going to change that to multiple choice, and we're going to put in the options here. So we'll do option number 1, Northbridge, option number 2, Worcester, option number 3, Boston, and option number 4, Austin. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to select which answer is correct. So then what Google Forms is going to do is it's going to grade it for you. So we're going to click on answer key here. We're going to give it a point value. I'm just going to give it a point value of 1, but basically you can select anything. And then I'm going to choose the correct answer here, which is Boston, and then move on. If I wanted to make any changes, if I spelled something incorrectly, or if I need to add a question mark, which I do here, I can do that. And you're good to go. All right, Massachusetts Geography Quiz is the title here. So again, right now it's titled Blank Quiz. If you want to change that, we click up here, and we're going to change that to Massachusetts Geography Quiz. Done. All right. And that's how we're going to create a quiz there. So like I said, Google Forms is pretty versatile. You can do lots of stuff in it. That's very helpful to you, gets you the information. The nice thing about it is it's automatic. It's going to collect the data and it's going to put it into a spreadsheet. So you're not grading anything by hand. You're not collecting paper forms and then inputting the data into a spreadsheet anyway. It's all digitizing it so that you don't have to do all the legwork to put the information into the computer to be able to sort it or create email lists and things like that. So just wanted to show you that. Any questions, reach out to me anytime. Happy to help. Have a great day. Thanks.